With the tragic wildfires burning down Los Angeles, UFC 311 is now in limbo, saying the event is located in Los Angeles. Dana White has come out to speak about this and saying that the event could possibly be moved. And of course, UFC 311 would be nothing without Coach Khabib, who is going to be coaching Umar and Islam both. First of all, while trying to get to UFC 311, Khabib was actually kicked off his plane. Video surfaced yesterday of Khabib getting kicked off the airplane talking to workers, and at first the reason was unknown, but I can report to you guys that we now know. Apparently, Khabib was sitting too close to the emergency exit, and the workers were saying, hey, they need somebody that speaks fluent English. Khabib was saying, hey, I speak English, I'm good enough for this. Obviously, us MMA fans know Khabib actually does speak English very well. Like, he has interviews in English, he has spoke English for a long time. He's a big advocate for speaking English, actually. So we all know he is more than qualified, of course, to sit on an exit and be able to communicate with other people. Well, it turns out this worker did not feel comfortable, kept pressing him on it, and even though Khabib kept assuring her, hey, I do speak English, she threatened to call her supervisor, leading to him getting kicked off the plane, and Khabib was absolutely furious.
Because I know the language and I know the
It's not about the language.
I know how to help people, and now you guys, because this woman don't understand what she's talking about.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're either gonna have you switch your seat because my flight attendants are not allowing you to sit in the exit row, or you're gonna have to get off this plane and then we'll have to leave because they're not comfortable with sitting in the emergency exit row. My flight attendants. And unfortunately, it is fair.
It's not fair.
Yes, it is.
But you guys, when I was working checking, they asked me, do I know English? Yes, I said.
And they said yes.
Yes.
I understand that, but it's also off of their judgment. I'm not going to do this back and forth. I will call a supervisor. You can either take a different seat, or we can go ahead and escort you off the plane. Which one are we doing?
We're gonna meet you.
Okay, I'll call a supervisor, and then we're going to have to rebook you for a different flight.
Khabib responded on Twitter. He said, first of all, I need to clarify, it was Fly Frontier, not Alaska Air. This is because I think Colby Covington accused Khabib of going on Alaska Air. The lady who comes to me with questions was very rude from the very beginning. Even though I spoke very decent English, I can understand everything and agreed to assist. She still insists on moving me from my seat. What was the base of that? Racial, national, or other one? So obviously, like I said, I'm not sure if this is actually Khabib or this is just his manager speaking out for him. But at the end of the day, look, Khabib does speak English. I think this was just sadly a case of a girl on a plane hearing a different accent and just assuming the worst. And I will say, I think the girl did have a bit too much attitude with Khabib in the video. You can clearly see yourself. And I'm not just saying that because I can't talk bad because Khabib's behind me. I gotta side with Khabib on this one, honestly. But speaking on UFC 311, I feel bad for the event because it has to follow up such a massive event for the UFC. And of course, I'm talking about Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas too, because that was the most anticipated fight of the year. And it went down. Mackenzie Dern did sub Amanda Ribas in the third round. It was a bit of a back and forth fight. Not super exciting. They were both like 1 round apiece. And then, yeah, Mackenzie Dern did manage to get the sub. But I think what was more interesting was Chris Curtis, right? He threw a massive tantrum during his fight. He fought Roman Kopylov in a pretty close fight. I think Roman Kopylov was a big favorite going into it, but Chris Curtis did extremely well, but in my opinion was on his way to losing a decision. Lost the first round and was on his way to losing the third, where at the last second we saw Chris Curtis get hit with a head kick, get knocked down, and at the last second the referee waves off the fight and says Chris Curtis got knocked out. This led to Chris Curtis screaming in the octagon, and I wish I could show you guys the full video. I don't want to get copyrighted, so I don't think I can, but he was absolutely going off. He was screaming. But just like Chris Curtis needs to get his emotion in check, someone who did get their emotions in check was Ryan Garcia. Obviously, he came off that, crazy year he had where he was acting super weird. He seems to be acting more normal, but he's still getting kind of, I guess, in trouble, as he just had an altercation with the boxer Conor Benn.
I'm serious. I'm serious. Come on now. Come on now. You know how it is. Your city? Your city?
In my city.
You don't think I'm gonna hit you with that left hook?
No.
Many fighters like you. I thought that was strong.
Go for it. Go
Yeah, you go for it. You go for it. You go for it. You're the one that started that shit.
Come on, you go for it.
Could this be a fight we potentially see at some point? I don't know. But at that same boxing event, we saw Anthony Joshua finally see Daniel Dubois, and this was the first time since these two fought, and it was kind of a, mutually good, I guess, interaction.
Yeah, well, I'm good. Of course, man. God bless you. Yeah.
Both guys showing respect to one another, but I don't know, Daniel Dubois' smile, I mean, he just looks too happy that he beat Anthony Joshua. But if you thought these two rivals meeting up was good, take a look at Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker reuniting and actually training together. They actually uploaded some training footage after their 2 fights. No surprise here, there was never really that much bad blood between them. But like I said, UFC 311, there's a lot of controversy surrounding it. I won't say this event is falling apart, but yeah, this event is in trouble. There definitely is some stuff going on with it. Johnny Walker just pulled out of UFC 311. I believe this fight was going to be on the main card. He pulled out due to a quote-unquote bad injury.
I've been pulled out by a bad injury next week, UFC 311. So I'm not gonna be competing.
Even though he didn't say what he has, I mean, I hope he recovers fast. It does not sound good if he's saying it's a bad injury. Bogdan Gustav is now gonna be fighting Billy Elikana. And also UFC 311, obviously the main event's gonna be Islam Makhachev. He did a live stream with Adin Ross where he pressed Adin Ross because Adin asked him if Russia had Wi-Fi.
Wait, there's good Wi-Fi out there?
Of course. Hey, this guy asked if Russia have Wi-Fi.
They got Wi-Fi out there.
Everything what you find in US, they have.
All right, so I'm gonna come down there, bro. Let's get some training in.
Come soon because you think Russia is like village. No, Russia is all technology.
I'm coming.
It's a crazy question.
What?
Russia have Wi-Fi?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what, Islam? I'm gonna come to Russia now with them watching, so they can know that Russia's not a village. Because that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, Islam seemed a bit mad. Like, he literally brought this up way later. I mean, I think he just doesn't like that people think, I guess, Russia's like this some like second-class country where, you know, Russia obviously is a massive country and has a massive population. And on that same live stream, we got a big update about UFC 311. Now, there's been some concern about the Los Angeles wildfires. A lot of people have been saying, hey, could this event potentially be moved? This is very close. It literally looks like something you'd see out of a movie. Like, I can't believe all these news reports. It's insane. So I hate to even bring up things like a UFC event because it is so trivial compared to the actual serious shit that's going on there. But it is true that UFC 311, this is a thing that they are having the event in Los Angeles. This is a legit question. Could this event be moved? Dana White did respond to this on Adin Ross's stream and did talk about the potential of this fight being moved. Here's what Dana White had to say.
Well, if the fire gets bad, we're coming to Vegas.
You're doing the card to Vegas?
Yeah, we'll move it to Vegas if it gets too bad. But as of now, it's all a go. NBA's going to go this week. We're going to go.
Okay.
And this seems to check out. The T-Mobile Arena is free that night. There's absolutely nothing going on in T-Mobile right now. So we could definitely see this fight at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It would just be insane to have this event moved totally to another state. And how will this affect fighters? I'm curious to see how the PI is going to work, obviously, because of Merab and Umar. I mean, these two have been going back and forth. Can they even share a PI that week?
Fuck this bag, fuck the money, fuck everything else, okay?
And I hope that the UFC does something good for the victims in this whole thing. Maybe having a section just for the victims. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the UFC could do at this point. Obviously, nothing makes up for losing a home, but it would just be something good, you know, to do. Maybe something to get their minds off things. And the Intuit Dome is supposed to be a really cool arena. So yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed if this fight does get moved. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Check out my last video where I talked about John Jones versus Tom Aspinall being canceled. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys in the next one.